Good evening. The Conservative Party of Canada held a refounding meeting for the Lakeland area on Saturday. Now, after a review of the districts in the area, Lloydminster will now become part of a new electoral district.
Basically, it goes from Athabasca to Lloydminster, just outside of Bonnyville to just outside of Vegreville.
The changes made to the boundaries will see some areas disappear and become part of the new region. This is according to the returning officer who was there to help Conservative supporters select a board for the new association.
Some of the people who were in that electoral district are now in this electoral district, and they got elected onto the board. So there's a nice mix of folks from the old Westlock St. Paul board, from the old Vegreville Wainwright board, and then there's some folks that are new to the two boards, as I understand it. So it's actually a very good process.
Marciano says with these changes, current MP of Vegreville Wainwright Leon Benoit's riding will be now part of the new region come the new election.
If Leon has chosen to run, or where Leon has chosen to run, I do know that he chose not to stand for this board, so I suspect that means he's not running in Lakeland.
MP Brian Storseth says the refounding meeting is important so they can elect a board that represents the people of the new riding.
Making sure we have great people like this come out and we get a person in each different community so the members of Parliament know what's going on in each one of those communities.
Now, 27-year-old Tyler Poirier is a Conservative supporter and believes it is important for people his age to represent at these sort of events.
If we're not doing it, it's just going to really, take away from the grassroots of the parties and the supporters, right? So it's inevitable, but I think it's even more important being younger, getting more involved earlier, and I guess learning from the people that have been doing that for 30, 40 years.
Well, it's been a month since Typhoon Haiyan hit the Philippines, devastating the lives of more than 10 million people. As residents from the island try to rebuild their homes, people in the border city have been sending support in various ways. Now, last night, hundreds of people gathered for a fundraising supper put on by the Filipino community.
We were just hoping for a couple of people, like hundreds of people. It turned out to be a bigger thing. We're hoping to raise as much as $10,000 if it is possible.
People from all over the area offered financial help to the victims in the Philippines.
Came out to support, to be able to help them back in the Philippines. We have friends that are from there, and so just doing what we can do to help them in their disaster back in the Philippines. And he says the Lloydminster community has been generous and that they will continue to lend a helping hand any way they can.
Philippines are still in need. It will take years for the Philippines to recover from this tragedy. It will be a long cause.
Well, it's the season of gifts, toys, and wish lists, and your kids aren't the only ones gearing up for Christmas. The SPCA has a wish list for the animals as well, and one local video store is running a cleaning product and food drive to help out. Annika Notvate has more.
It's a common sight in December at the video store. A pile of animal food and cleaning supplies nestled between movie racks. Shirley Thompson has put together the drive 16 times and says it's always been a success. One year they had 3,000 pounds of food.
It just took up the whole front here, and people had to walk around it, stumble over it to get to the new release section, and then therefore they remembered the next time they came in to bring something. So that's why we have it right exactly where it's sitting.
Her passion for animals inspires her to continue the drive.
I really do love animals, and it's the shelter is just such a wonderful place. It gives them a home until they find their forever home. It keeps them warm and safe.
And we do get a lot of donations, and it's awesome because we can always use these donations, and everything that we have, if we have a little too much of something at the time, then it just goes into storage and we end up using it all.
And according to staff, the SPCA wish list includes cat and kitten food, as well as a few other things.
The SPCA always loves to get bleach, dish detergent, and laundry detergent, and we prefer to stay away from ammonia-based products. Ammonia-based products can actually cause respiratory illness in animals.
And so far, donations have been steady.
We've had quite a lot of people bring things in. Also, the other thing the shelter always needs is toys. The animals can always use toys if you would like to go that route as well.
Now you can stop by Star Vision Video anytime until December 23rd. They're accepting donations 7 days a week. Anna Knotbait, Newcap News.
Scotia Bank's Hockey Day in Canada is a little over a month away, but various community centres and businesses in the border city are already showing off their hockey pride by displaying works of art in their windows. Now, a number of schools are volunteering their time as they paint hockey-inspired murals around the city, all in anticipation of the big day. Bart Petiasic reports.
Stencils on the windows, brushes in hand. This little group of artists from Winston Churchill School got to work this morning as they lit up Bud Miller Park Center with their hockey-inspired works. Rachel Salt and her friends got to work for an hour, putting their ideas to paint, and she says there was a lot of preparation since their classroom was asked to take part 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we took like a projector and we blown it up and then we traced it on a paper.
This group of 40 kids joins other schools as they paint businesses and community centers around the city.
They love it. They love it. They love coming out into the public and showing their work, and they're very excited. And the people who have let them come in to their places are extremely excited too.
The kids just get really excited about something that's different and new and definitely a one-time chance. Hockey Day in Canada doesn't come to every community many times, so this is really exciting for Lloydminster and definitely exciting for these kids to be part of it.
This year's Scotia Bank Hockey Day in Canada has the theme of community, so organizers say getting local students involved makes sense.
They're learning about hockey, they're learning about our community, and being part of the community is also giving back and showing your artwork and just being involved.
As for Salt, she's excited to have her work on display for possibly the world to see.
It's going to be something that not many other kids get to do and makes it kind of pop out.
Bart Petiasic, Newcap News.